Welcome to Beach Bum Creations. This is Tom, and on this channel we will show you how to take the items you find on the beach, the seashells, the driftwood, seaweed, everything you find on the beach. We'll show you how to turn them into lifelong memories using resin. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Okay, welcome back to Beach Bum Creations. Today we're going to make an incense holder out of an oyster shell. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over to the oyster bar and find us an oyster shell. So follow me. Okay, so now I scan all these. So now what I'm going to do is pick out one of these oyster shells that I can use. I think I'll use this one right here. This is a nice one. Okay, you got it? Okay, we're gonna clean this up now, so head on over to where the cleaning stuff is. Here we are at my little cleaning station, and in here I have the stuff I'm gonna clean it. You can see it sizzle. What I'm using here, I'm just using bathroom cleaner. That's all it is. Just stuff you spray in your toilet to clean your toilet and your tiles. It just eats this calcium right off these shells. Now you should be wearing a glove when you do this, but I'm only gonna do part of it and then turn it around. See, we'll get it where it's really nice. Then you dip it in the water. Well, it's too big for this little thing, so. Okay, now you see how it's starting to look a lot better. Now we'll do the other side of it. Okay, now it's all clean. So now I have to find a piece of wood to go along with this. And let's see, I'm gonna look around here, see what kind of wood we got. Try to get some idea of kind of a shape you want. Yeah, that looks pretty good right there. Like that. Okay. This one's a piece of wood, as you can see. It's really dirty. It's been sitting up there for about 6 months, so I'm gonna clean it off real fast here. This wire brush. If you don't get this off, whoa, big old bee in there. The thing's about making stuff with resin. Okay, got my fly swatter in my hand if it comes back. There's his hole. That was his home there. His casa. If you don't scrape this, what I was saying, yeah. If you don't scrape this off, the resin won't stick to it. And so you'll have spots. On wood like this, I usually don't even pour the resin on it because it's got such a nice texture. it looks better natural. But you still have to get all this old stuff off of here. Okay, trying to show you how to do this just as quickly as possible. Okay, so this is subject to change too. I think I like it more like this. Maybe more on this side of it. Okay, that looks good. So, let me get my piece of wood here. Find it. I'm going to get a shell to put here to hold the resin. Well, we're going to need these anyway. Might as well just leave them out here. So, well, this one looks pretty good. Posibray key. Oh, yeah. That'd be good. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to get a piece of incense. Okay, so this is where the incense will go. You have to make sure that however you put this, that when it burns down, of course it doesn't drop there, it all drops in here somewhere. So you want to make sure that the shell's on the right way. So that looks about right there. I'm going to get it in the middle, because it'll burn down a little bit down to about here before it falls off. And then this will fall off in here too, so it looks good. So now, what I do is I put little shells inside here so that I can pour resin over it. I first will pour blue resin in there, make it look like water, and then I'll put some little shells there. And here's my little shells. I don't know if you can see them. These are just a bunch of little teeny shells. This looks like a good shell to use for this. I'll clean this up. I already cleaned this one up some, I think. Clean it up a little bit more. See where we can put these. How about this one right in here? This one okay? Like that. These are sand dollar lungs. So we're going to put a couple of these. If you turn it over, you can see the lung part. I like to use these. And now we need flat shells. I usually will get as many different types of shells as I can, so the project has a lot of different varieties. And on these are called combed Venus shells. I like to get them with the points on them. So let's put them upside down. It's less likely that they'll break when you touch them. There you go. Okay, these I need flat shells. These are called calico clamshells. And I want to get some flat ones. I like to use the flat ones here. Now that I've got the general idea of how I'm going to make it, this is going to stand up like this. And now I need some animals. I usually have 2 or 3 big shells, which is this one over here. This one will be back here. Change this one. I already cleaned that one and put some clear on it already. So you can also put this right here. Yeah, that'd be good. Okay. There you go. Let's see. Maybe I got some animals here. We have some animals, so we can put this one up here. Anyway, you get the idea. It's going to be up here. Get the glue gun out, put that there. I think this thing here I'm going to have right here. Bueno. Okay, let's see. Okay, that's the general making of it. So when I go to pour this resin, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pour blue, which will be like the water. And I'll move my tarp around to make the, well, I'll go through that once I get it over there. So now I transfer all this over to my, the table in my dining room, because it's the countertop is the only place level in the whole house. It'd take too long to kind of try to level this, and then it moves all the time. But the countertop is level all the time. You don't have to do anything with it. So I just put this black tarp on it, and then when I pour, I'll put some shells underneath the tarp that makes it higher so that the resin can't go that far. You'll see. Okay? She just said, okay, I've got everything ready here. I'm waiting for this to charge up because I want to, actually I don't need to do that right now because I want to make these permanent where I don't have to hold them. I'm going to glue on the dragonfly and the moth up here. So that's the only thing I have to glue right now. So I'm just going to not do that part. So now I'm going to go ahead and pour the resin. Get my Atlanta cockle shells. These shells here, because they're so plentiful on the beach and they're not very pretty, I use these shells, and that's what I mean by you hold it up and the resin won't go that far. So wherever I put these is limiting on how big this project will be. That's the limiting factor. And then once I start pouring, I'll adjust them. The first, like I say, the first thing I'm going to pour down here is the blue. I'm just getting it ready. Now let's go in. I'm going to pour some blue resin, and we'll mix up some blue resin and then pour it down here as the base for the water inside of here. And this, I think I'm going to have to, at first, cock it up some so I can pour the resin in there and it don't spill over the side. I want the resin to eventually run off of here. So the first amount I'm going to put down in here to fill all this area in, and then when I set it over here, I'll go ahead and pour more so it looks like it's running off into this pool. So, there you go. That's the plan. Okay, follow me. We're gonna go mix up some resin now. Okay, we got my trusty scale. Okay, in this resin, I'm going to use some glitter, and this one I'm going to use silver. So this is the silver that I'm going to use. I think I have one that's partially open. I do. Okay. And I'm going to use blue dye. So let's see. Gray blue. I like this one. This looks good. Okay, this is ultramarine blue. So I'm going to use that in this. So let's see. I need a cup. I find these on the beach along with everything else that's in my projects. People just throw their popsicle sticks away. And that's what I will do my resin in. Okay. I usually put 2 because the plastic is so flimsy. I put 2. It just makes it thicker so it doesn't collapse so easily. Plus this resin, when it sits in there, it'll get so hot, it'll melt right through this if you don't watch out. So now what I'm going to do is I zero this in. And this is part A. You see the resin here? Part A. This is a 2-to-1. So how much ever of this you put half as much of part B. So I'm going to add okay, I got 102. That means I need 51. 51 of part B. So you just take this number and you zero it out and pour till you hit 51. Oh, it's a little too much. 54. That'll work. It's okay. So now you just add your glitter. It's up to you how much. Just add whatever you want. Now this stuff, this dye, you have to add a lot to give it any color at all. It's really for light blue stuff. So then you just mix this up. It's good to mix it for at least 3 minutes. What'll happen, what's on the stick, the color that's on the stick is the color that it'll pour. When you're mixing this, you got to make sure that you rub against the sides, because when you go to clean this out, when you're done pouring most of it, and you scrape the sides, if it's not mixed, it will never harden up and it will ruin your project. Oh, that came out pretty dark. That's amazing. I don't think it's going to come out that dark. I think the stick just got in the ink. The stick just absorbed the ink. And you got to also make sure you get the bottom real good. Okay, now what I do is I just let it sit for a little bit and then start letting it get a little bit hard. Take it in the house. Very, very, very important to get this mixed real good. I ruined a lot of projects. Wasted a lot of resin. It don't matter what you do, it will never harden up. Okay, looks like it's mixed pretty good. Another thing, when you pour resin, what's good to have is you always want to have some alcohol, because if you get any resin on your hands, lots of people use gloves. And also need a paper towel. That's all you need to clean off the resin. It's just some alcohol and a paper towel. You see, I got a little bit on me somewhere. I don't know where. I can, some on my thumb. So I just squirt my hands, rub it around, and wipe them. And that's it. The resin's off. So, and sometimes I use gloves, but for this, it's not needed, in my opinion. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead. I don't want to, if I pour this with the other one in there, I will ruin the second one and I won't be able to use it anymore. So I just take them apart. So now I'm going to pour this, and this will be my basic shape. Need to make a little bit more, it looks like. When this resin hardens up, it will I need to make more. So we're going to go back in and make a little bit more. Maybe a lot more. I want it to be bigger than this. Okay, going back, make moss. More. Okay. Mixy, mixy, mixy again. This should be enough now. Okay, pour this in here first. Okay. Y cuando seco, no más move. No move it, no veo. now. I'm gonna have to let this dry, and then we'll do some more tomorrow. Okay, well, I'm back with the wire brush. Didn't take long, it was right here. Wow, look how it looks now. This wire brush is rusty. Sometimes they're dirty, and it's hard to get them clean. But this one's looking pretty good now. Doesn't need much more now. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pause and get the remaining parts of this. So it could take a little while, so we'll just have to come back. All right, I think I got it about as good as I'm gonna get it. Let's see if I can get this thing in focus. It's pretty clean. Doesn't look too bad considering it looked like this when I started. So it don't look too bad now. So I'll go ahead and use these two that I just cleaned, and we'll get back to you in a little bit. All right, I'm back. I went ahead and I glued that shell that I washed, that I cleaned right there, glued that seaweed up, glued the dragonfly on the top, moth over here on this side. I glued the shell that holds the incense. This shell's, this one, the Christmas tree, this cone's it's got a little dab there, but it's not anything to hold it. None of this will hold it. The clear will really, when I pour the clear. But right now, I'm gonna pour some blue right here on this edge, so it kind of looks like it's running over right here, and I'm gonna fill all this in with blue. And maybe run it over here too. So it's over here, it's already mixed up. I'm just waiting on something like this where I want it to kind of look like water running over the side. I want it to not have a break in it. I want it to be a solid stream like running over. So I'm gonna let this get a little bit hardened up. Not much, but a little. I'm gonna give it about a half hour of sitting here. I keep mixing it, and once I pour that, then I'll let that sit up, and then I'll go ahead and pour it clear over all of it, except not the wood. So maybe this little piece of wood there will get some clear on it, because I don't know, I don't like that. I'm not gonna do that. It's sticking too far out. Because I'll come back here with a Dremel and shave all these edges, cut it, because the clear is going to run over, so it's just going to be clear. So I'm going to go ahead and cut all that off. So maybe this can go here, something can go there. After this runs off, it looks like water running off. So we'll see. Come back when I'm ready. All right, I'm back. I'm ready to pour the clear now. I've got the shells laid out. You can see all the little pieces of broken shells that's around. I've got the little shells down in there. The clear will go on top of those. So there's going to be clear on almost everything. I'm not gonna. I don't know if I'll clear this tall one here, because that's a big shell. If you look at my hand next to it, it's tall. And there's no space for the clear to run off. It'll just all run off. Leave a small coat. Good guy. Nice looking moth. 2 of them in one day. Never saw one before and found 2 in one day. Both on the beach laying upside down. And I don't know, it's a bone of some sort of thing. I don't know what it is. And of course, we got a crab. I found him on the beach and he looked brown just like that. It's kind of strange because they're usually gray, or then you cook them and they turn red. But there you go. We'll go ahead and start pouring. I mixed up this resin right here about 10 minutes ago. So it's already hot. It's getting hot now. So I'll go ahead and pour this, and I should have probably waited to pour these little pieces. Sometimes I pour it first and sometimes I don't, but I think on this project I should have waited. But I didn't, so it's too late now. I'm not gonna move them. That's it, huh? So, next thing you see, it'll be all poured. All right, I just finished pouring the clear. You can see it's all running over the blue there. And tomorrow I'll just cut that off. But I got it all covered. All these little pieces are covered. All the shells are covered. You see all those little shells down in there now. But you can't, they get it at an angle maybe. Tomorrow you'll be able to tell when I put my finger on it. So, it's just a matter of time now to let it dry. About 8 hours, good 8 hours. Maybe more to cut this off. We'll see. So, yeah, looks pretty nice right now. We'll see how it looks tomorrow. All right, here's the finished product of this incense holder. I've trimmed off all the clear and rounded the edges. You get a kind of a good look of the whole thing right now. Got some incense burning in it right now. And I hit it with my finger earlier. And so up top here, see this dragonfly? Got a moth on this side. Come Venus. So there you have it. All complete on this project. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit the like and share. Come back and see us again.